Hi everyone, hope you had a good Shabbat. Shabbat Tov U'Mevorach to everybody. And just want to give an update here in the Holy Land with what's going on. How was our Shabbat? How was our last few days? Firstly, while looking at the international media is never a good idea, unfortunately, especially after Shabbat comes out, having the Su'udah Revi'it, having a nice meal, which is the best way to take out the Shabbat after Havdalah. To see the news with all these, so many different protests going on, all these Palestinian protests out there, especially in England. It was in the headlines of the news. 100,000 people came to protest and full of chants and all these things. I don't know how these people, do these. It's very, very unfortunate. They should follow suit like in France, where they banned all these protests. It's a shame that the British government didn't do this. And, it's very, very worrying. I was in England only a few weeks ago, and I remember going on a day trip to Liverpool with my kippah on the whole time. Very, very proud. I went everywhere around there, toured around with a couple of my kids and my wife, and there was not one issue at the time. But unfortunately now, this, very much a lot of this has changed opinion out there, and people are forgetting what's happened 2 weeks ago, and people are, just the general public doesn't see the right that Israel has to defend its country and has to get the hostages back, and we have to wipe out Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, and so many different factors over here. And Bezrat Hashem's going to protect our soldiers, our heroic soldiers, and all of Am Yisrael. We're not going to, all the injured that has become injured through these horrific attacks are going to make a refuah shlema. Hostages are going to come back all safe, and there'll be no more casualties here in Israel. And just brachot Be'ez Hashem, and the Mashiach is going to come soon, and we're going to see the rebuilding of the Bet HaMikdash. However, we see all over the world that there's all these protests. You can see it's happening in London. It's in the headlines in Birmingham. It's in Tokyo. There's been things going on. It's happening in many of the Arab countries, but a lot of it is anti-Semitism. It's not, people say there's anti-Zionism, anti-Semitism, but I think very much so many people can see now, you can't, the two things are very much connected together. It's Yishmael. This is when the Galut, at the moment of Yishmael at this point in time. And what can we do in the meantime? We can, like me, myself, I'm speaking to myself over here. I could get despondent by looking at all these protests. Everyone slagging off Israel. Everyone who doesn't really care, just chanting peaceful Palestine or whatever it is. All those chants. I could get despondent about that, but there's a bracha given inside the Torah, which we see in Parashat Toldot, where it's been given over to Yaakov. We are all the sons of Yaakov. Yisrael is Yaakov. Another word for Jacob is Yisrael. One of the powers that we've got is tefillah, is prayer. It's the Torah. Hashem's given that to us, and that's the key ingredient over here. That's a key ingredient. Obviously, there's many key ingredients here. Obviously, we've got to advocate. We've got to be diplomatic. We've got to do good deeds. We've got to keep doing chesed. All those different aspects are essential. There's got to be achdut and unity. But Torah is one of the keys. It's actually related over in Parashat Toldot in Sefer Bereshit, that when there's a kol shel Yaakov, when there's a voice of Yaakov being heard in the tent, there's a Torah learning, there's a Tehillim going on, there's all the great deeds that we're doing, which we can take out from the Torah. Am Yisrael will be on a high, and if that might be limited or might be slacking off, let's just say, then it's a worrying situation. That's why I believe it was in the time of Parshat B'Shalach, after the Kriyat Yam Suf, there was a war against the Amalekites, and Moshe Rabbeinu had his hands high to Shemaim, and when his hands were high to Shemaim, praying, Am Yisrael were victorious at that point in the Midbar. When it was down, it was signified that maybe they weren't so victorious. And what can we do in the meantime? We've got everything we can do in the meantime. We can, keep doing all the chesed work. Ladies out there, you're doing a lot of tehillim. Do more at this point in time. Say more brachot. Let's take more things on. I want to share you a story that happened. The power of Shema Yisrael. You know, some people say, you know, I did a video only a few months ago saying about the importance of saying Shema Yisrael in the Daf Yomi series. And we see it saved lives, because 2 weeks ago, when that massacre took place, it happened to be, I heard this story this Shabbat, that there was a man in the house, and he took on a lot of the terrorists at the time. There was gun battle, and eventually he was able to escape, and was able to defeat those terrorists. But he was locked up still inside his ma'amad, inside the house. And you know, the Israeli forces came. They didn't know. They thought maybe a terrorist is still inside this specific place. So they were ready to shoot him. And he was a secular man, I believe. He wasn't necessarily religious. So he looked in despair. What should I do? What should I do? So he wanted to code to the army officers or the police that was over there that thought he might have been a terrorist, that he's Jewish and he wants salvation. He wants to escape and make sure he's not going to be harmed from terrorists. And he was worried for his own life now, because maybe they thought he's a terrorist. So he shouted out, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's what he shouted out. And then he was saved. At the end, because they knew this is a Jewish person, and he's saying Shema Yisrael, he's coming in tefillah, and was coding it. And there was other stories like that. That's the importance of doing it, you know. And now it's a time for all of us to try and do more. And I speak about myself also. With everything that we do, we should try and do more. If we're finding something difficult, you conquer it. There's Yetzirah out there. There's evil inclination that is trying to pull people and tell people don't to do things. But now's the time we do more things. It's a time now to donate to Israel, to the Israeli army, to help the Israeli army. It's a time to advocate for Israel. It's time not to bash anyone else. We can be politically correct when we're giving our opinions, and not to mock anyone else, but to show why we are right. We've got a right to self-defend ourselves. It's a time where we should help other people. We know that people are distressed in Israel. Give them a call. See how they're doing. You know, everyone's stressed. Everyone's got kids. You know, people have kids inside the army. They're risking their lives to protect Israel. So people might be just stressed. People have, you know, there's kids with special needs and everything else. So, you know, it's time to reach out for all those people. And, you know, everyone across the world might be nervous also. There's people I've spoken to from England, from America, that are very stressed. Even from Australia, Canada area, people are very stressed, because unfortunately when there's something going on in Israel, it can increase the rate of anti-Semitism. But there's everything we can do. Come in Achdut, when Achdut is one of the keys to protect Am Yisrael. We help other people that need help at this stage in time. We try and build people up. Maybe change is needed. Maybe we need to change ourselves. We've done all that work during Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. We went to synagogue and we fasted for 25 hours. We built the sukkahs on Sukkot. We bought the Arbat Aminim, the Lulav, Etrog, Hadasim, Arabot. We did so much work. Now's the time. Usually, sometimes, a lot of people will dip after Sukkot. They go back to their old ways, unfortunately. But not this. Now this must not happen. Now it's a time where we build ourselves in every aspect, both spiritually in every single aspect, and in ourselves, in our persons. We've got to actually improve ourselves with everything that we can do. And I speak about myself, and this is a key ingredient to everything. And the call Shel Yaakov should be high the whole time. The Torah learning, we should be doing as much as possible at this stage in time, encouraging other people. And also, it's not a time, people might be scared all across the world to go to attend synagogue. You know, there's a lot of fear out there, but no, the greatest thing that we can do is put our head high and say, no, we are going to rise above this, and we're going to keep doing our lives and try and grow, and everything else that we can accomplish. So, Bezrat Hashem here from Israel. We had there was no sirens actually in our area, towards our area, but we could hear some of the booms in the sky with regards to the rocket attacks. So I was very nervous because we don't know what's going on. Obviously, we're keeping Shabbat fully, and in our neighborhood, pretty much nearly everyone's keeping Shabbat. So we wouldn't know necessarily if something is going on or not, because we don't have access to the news. So there is that worry. And Bezrat Hashem, we're just going to see a lot of brachot. And, not to pay too much attention to what the other people are saying. Of course, it's important. But if we are working on ourselves and we are making Am Yisrael proud and we are doing everything that we can, that's amazing. And we can see at the moment here in Israel the achdut, the unity, the chesed work, the kindness that's being poured inside this country specifically. The Bein Adam L'Chabeiro, it's second to none. It's absolutely phenomenal. And that is a key ingredient. But Bezrat Hashem, we're just going to see Besorot Tovot and good things. And may Hashem protect Israel. And Hashem's going to punish all the enemies of Israel at once, hopefully. And Bezrat Hashem, Shavua Tov to everybody. And please watch